Are you a parent who feels like you've tried everything from diet changes to therapy to medications, but nothing provides lasting relief? Just know this, you're not alone. Right now, 40% of children struggle with chronic health challenges, from things like digestive issues and frequent colds to anxiety and ADHD and developmental delays. And yet, if you're like most parents, you've probably been told things like this: they'll eventually grow out of it, or this is just how they are, or let's just try another prescription, right? We hear this phraseology far too often. But what if they're not meant to grow out of it? What if these struggles are a sign that something deeper is going on? This video is for parents who feel frustrated and helpless and who've tried every approach only to feel maybe they felt dismissed or ignored or given temporary solutions. This is for parents who believe that really their child was meant to thrive, but just don't know how to get them to that thriving state, right? You're in a good place. Today, what we're going to break down and what you're going to learn is why a dysregulated nervous system could be the root cause of your child's health challenges and their struggles, what these signs look like and what you should look for, and how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help unlock their full potential for healing and thriving. So let me tell you first a quick story, a story actually about my daughter, my kiddo. I don't just talk about this because I'm a chiropractor, although that's a piece to the puzzle, but I actually talk about this because I've lived this whole scenario. One of my kiddos, she struggles, and sometimes she still struggles. She has big emotions and constant restlessness and difficulty sleeping, gets overwhelmed really a lot, and honestly, so are we, my wife and I. It's really overwhelming, and we've done a lot to help her out. Everything from adjusted her diet to cut back screen time, tried supplements, and some things helped a little, but nothing really seemed to stick and get to the root cause. When we really started to enter this pediatric chiropractic world, what we found and what we started to really understand is that her nervous system was stuck in a fight or flight state often, and can, if we're not on top of her adjustments and her regular care, can shift to that state relatively well. And so we have to stay on this path of, hey, let's constantly hone in and tune into your nervous system so that we can make sure that your body's able to adapt to the stresses that you're feeling on a regular day. So what we did ultimately is this: we ran her neurological scans and we could see the stress. Her nervous system was stuck in this constant state of stress, that stuck on a fight or flight state, and her body was unable to regulate. And so it wasn't that she was choosing to struggle, it was just the way that her nervous system was currently being wired, right? And once we started consistent neurologically focused chiropractic care, that's when things really shifted for her. Her sleep improved. Man, I can tell you horror stories of my kiddo that she's the one. All her childhood, still, right? She's still a child, I guess is what I'm saying. She's not still in the state, but she would wake up 3, 4, 5, 6 times a night up until she was, 4 or 5 years old. And that's awful, right? Now her sleep's way better. Her meltdowns, they become fewer and farther between, for sure. She could finally regulate her emotions in a way she never could before. And that's just amazing. That's a really cool thing to see. And as parents, we really do everything that we can to help our kids, right? But sometimes we end up looking in the wrong places. And I've been there. We looked in a lot of those places, but what she really needed and what she really gained benefit from was consistently tuning into her nervous system. So this isn't about fixing kids, so to speak. It's about removing the stress that's holding them back so they can be who they were always meant to be. So let's talk about the science behind a nervous system that's dysregulated. Your child's nervous system is the body's master control center over everything. It's responsible for literally everything from digestion to breathing to emotional regulation. And when your kiddo's nervous system is dysregulated, it gets stuck in a fight or flight mode. And when the body is stuck in a stress state, it can't heal, it can't rest, and it can't develop properly the way it should. This dysregulation doesn't just happen randomly. It starts early on. And so we call this the perfect storm that leads to nervous system dysfunction. It's not about bad luck. It's about understanding the load that our kids are carrying from this perfect storm. So we can talk about where it starts. A high maternal stress period during pregnancy actually changes how a baby's nervous system develops. And the reason why is because mom and baby are sharing hormones. They're sharing blood supply. And so everything that mom experiences externally actually affects baby internally as well too in the womb. And so being on top of your own neurological health as a parent early on in pregnancy is really, really important. And even before pregnancy, you want to make sure that as dad, you're healthy, and as mom, you're healthy. Now, this also comes down to things like the actual birthing process. Interventions like C-sections, forceps, or vacuum extractions, those can cause physical tension on a baby's neurospinal system and affects how their nervous system develops too. This daughter that I was telling you guys about, she actually had a relatively quick birth. And if you have a birth that's too quick or that's too slow, that can actually affect how their nervous system develops, right? Because if it's too fast, then there's some certain things that need to happen for baby to pass through womb safely at the right speed. And if it's too slow and they get stuck, then that affects their neurospinal system as well, right? And then the next factor that plays a key role in the perfect storm is frequent childhood illnesses or antibiotics and toxins add even more stress, and that keeps the nervous system in a high alert mode. Over time, all these factors, they kind of build up on each other, and it's what we call the perfect storm. Again, a combination of stressors that makes it harder for the body to self-regulate and heal. So how do you know if this is happening to your child? Most parents don't connect these dots because nobody talks about it, right? It's just not out there. But here's what you can look for to figure out, hey, where is my child? Are they stuck in the storm? So there's physical symptoms. They might not sleep super well. They might get sick, have lots of colds, or have digestive issues, talk about their tummy hurting. My daughter talked about her tummy hurting a lot. Then there's emotional challenges. They might have high anxiety or mood swings. They become somewhat explosive, or they have difficulty self-regulating when they have to do something that they don't want to do. Behavioral issues like sensory sensitivities, focus struggles in school, impulsivity. These are all things that you might look for as well. Then there's developmental concerns, right? Trouble meeting milestones and maybe coordination issues. Maybe you watch them and when they're running, they run, but they don't run exactly the way that they should in a coordinated fashion. Those are things to look for, okay? Now, the reason why traditional approaches often fall short is because most healthcare approaches, they treat what's happening on the surface, but they never dive deeper and walk through that storm like we just explained and talked about. Medications might help with the symptoms, but they don't restore appropriate nervous system function. Diet changes, they support health and sometimes gut issues, but they don't address the root cause of the stress again. Therapies are valuable, but if a child's nervous system is dysregulated, their body can't fully integrate those changes that are trying to be encouraged through therapy, and then you have just this partial piece to the puzzle. So until the nervous system is balanced, your child's body is just working with all these pieces of information and kind of working against itself because it doesn't know what to do about it. So what can you do? That's the ultimate question here. Here's the good news. The body was designed to heal. That's the amazing thing. We have the capability to heal, and when we give our body the right support, it knows exactly what to do. So at Renegade Chiropractic, we use what we call insight scans, insight scanning technology. It basically helps us objectively measure your child's nervous system function, and this helps us pinpoint exactly where dysregulation is happening, so we can then create a customized care plan to help their body heal the way it's supposed to. It's amazing what your body can do with the right information. And people might get sick of me saying that to them when they come to the office and their kids starting to see things happen and change, but it really is amazing to see what your body can do with the right information. I love to see it. Now, if you want to learn more about how to help your kiddo and get their scans scheduled, you can click the link in our bio to schedule your child's insight scans. You can DM us, Help My Kiddo, to learn about how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help your kid or your family. And you can also comment in the comment section here. Just say, hey, I want to learn more about this. It's amazing what your body can do with the right information. Your child was designed to thrive. Let's help them get there. We just need to get the right information so that we can get there. We'll do it. Super excited. If you guys have questions, again, let me know.